When was the first time you were introduced to Google? Well, for me, it was when the internet was so young, and so was I. In my 8th grade, I worked on a science project with the help of the internet. And that's when I discovered online education as the future of education industry. And this was made real when the pandemic surfaced. The 21st century has achieved an enormous change in the realm of training. Gone are the days when teaching was restricted precisely inside the classroom. The web has got a massive change when it comes to the learning part. It is now bridging the learning gaps which give online education entrepreneurs a new stream of opportunities to develop short-term and long-term courses using the online medium. But how did this extreme change happen?
Even though there are various instances of the use of machines and devices in training, since e-learning in the advanced sense of the term is a moderately new idea. Slide projectors and TV-based classes have been used since the 1950s. One of the primary causes of internet learning on the planet can be followed back to 1960 at the University of Illinois, USA. Although the internet was young those days, students started gaining knowledge from computers interlinked to frame an organization. The first ever online course was offered in 1984 by the University of Toronto. In 1986, the Electronic University Network was set up for being utilized in DOS and Commodore 64 PCs. After 3 years, the University of Phoenix turned into the primary instructive establishment on the planet to dispatch an entirely online university organization, offering both singlemen and graduate degrees. This was the start of an insurgency that was likely obscure to the general population in those days, yet one that would make adapting enormously open and close enough for what individuals would actually have envisioned.
The university in Britain was one of the first colleges on the planet to start online distance learning in mid-1990s. Right now, the Indira Gandhi National University in India is the most prominent college in the world with around 4 million understudies selected, the vast majority of whom presently get schooling through online strategies. Internet learning is blasting on current occasions. Supported by the far and wide accessibility of rapid web, utilizing new innovations, for example 4G and 5G, internet learning is required to develop significantly soon.
The overall market size of web-based learning is around $187.87 billion in 2019, a 400% expansion over what was only 6 years prior. This remarkable development has been made conceivable not merely by the quickly advancing situation in the realm of innovation, yet also by the spread of schooling in the scene. Specialists foresee that the subsequent influx of online training will help not in North America and Europe, but preferably in recently developed business sectors like Africa, India, and China. Internet learning is not just restricted to schools and colleges. Directly since elementary school, internet learning is steadily being infused into the educational plan. To sum up, internet learning is one of the most groundbreaking advancements of the current century. Training is maybe the most excellent resource of advanced time. Web-based learning has given a medium to scatter it among the whole population. This presents a circumstance loaded with potential. Sling the entire world into another daybreak of improvement and thriving if appropriately outfit.
The business of Indian e-learning is booming day by day and becoming massive. It is not only K-12 and test preparations, but platforms for language learning and skills development have also become very demanding. The top ed startups like Byju, Unacademy, Vedantu, White Hat Junior, Udemy, Coursera and all other ones are vying for the same pie.
As per the reports, India's online education market is about to grow to USD 1.96 billion and around 9.6 million users by 2021, from USD 247 million and around 1.6 million users in 2016. The reskilling and online certifications are the latest category today at USD 93 million. Primary and secondary education will be the largest rising category by 2021 at USD 773 million. Growing at a CAGR of 60%, test participation will be growing at high speed in 2021, growing at a CAGR of 64%. Reskilling and online certifications in 2021.
Like Byju, which aims to be an online creative tutoring platform for students beyond schools. It offers students independent, comprehensive e-learning programs. The popular ones are primary, secondary and higher education, NEET, JEE, UPSC and bank exams. Now let us talk about the Unacademy, which started its journey as a YouTube channel and helped students prepare for the competitive exams. The most common courses for which aspirants subscribe are UPSC, SSC, IIT JEE, CAT and other exams.
As for Vedantu, they came up with changing the teaching process, which has stayed the same for decades. Their vision is to combine quality teachers, engaging content, and superior technology to create an excellent learning experience for students and focus on their outcome improvement. They claim to provide live classes for students with the best teachers. And they are good at the courses for which students take part in their tutorials are CBSE, ICSE students, and applicants from Olympiads, IIT JEE. Byju, the learning app that has changed the way of learning in the past few years, has 57 million users and 2.4 million subscribers. Unacademy knows anywhere, anytime. They have 30 million users and 350,000 subscribers. And Vedantu has 25 million users and 75,000 subscribers. Udemy is a platform where they try to help the students in reaching their goals. They have 35 million students and 57,000 mentors who are giving classes in 65 languages. The enrollment has been for over 400 million courses. Coursera is partnering with more than 200 leading universities and companies for being flexible, affordable, job-relevant online training to individuals and organizations worldwide. They offer courses to job-ready certificates and degree programs. Now we will talk about both sides of the most popular platforms, Udemy and Coursera. Let's find out the difference between them. Udemy offers a wide range of courses on among every subject we can imagine. At the same time, Coursera is more focused on academic topics. Udemy courses are cheaper as their prices are from $10 per course, and their courses require less time commitment. But they don't offer the courses in depth, accreditation, and tutor experience that Coursera does. Coursera offers prices from $8.15 per month. Coursera is more structured and has a more curated experience.
Well, despite everything, these platforms have some cons too. The cons of Udemy are they not have approval from recognized institutions and their quality varies. Coursera also has some drawbacks coming over, like they are expensive although it has wide range of languages and more commitments, but the cost thing is something that make it lacking behind the others. Udemy is best for taking just one or two courses, a wide range of topics including the tech and the business. And Coursera is best for getting a certificate from an accredited institute or for a more curated course experience. Well, ever since the new education policy came into focus, online education has come at the forefront of national agenda. Even my daughter, who is 5 years old, is getting her classes done from Vedantu app as schools are shut and students can no longer put their education on hold.
Now let's talk about the Mumbai-based EdTech startup, White Hat Junior, which is designed for students who are eager to explore their interest or have a passion for coding. Karan Bajaj, the former CEO of Discovery Network, established the startup in November 2018 and surprised the Indian tech market. They came up to make kids creators interested of consumers of technology. They are showing outstanding growth in the edutech sector. Now, as we all know, coding has become an essential part of compulsion studies from 6th class onwards. According to New Education Policy NEP 2020, they have an excellent curriculum created by experts and extensively peer-reviewed by computer engineering alumni for the world top tech institutes. White Hat Junior hires teachers by a rigorous 4-step selection process to intake only 0.1% early childhood coding experts. They give live online classes as per your comfort schedule, weekday or weekend. White Hat Junior is a platform where kids are entirely free to create animations, games, and commercial-ready apps, with the concept of applying their knowledge to code to real-world outcomes.
However, this coding app gained popularity after Bangalore-based edtech unicorn Byju acquired White Hat Junior and its advertisements, where kids are encouraged to learn to code and be the next Mark Zuckerberg of their generation. There has been multiple memes, jokes and some criticism on these ads as well. They make sure that their students understand the concept of logic, structure and sequence at the end of the program. White Hat Junior also tries to make their kids create websites, animations, apps and manipulate data using the programming languages. They allow the kids to be independent and become problem solvers of their own and make sure that the kids understand how technologies converse with each other. Now, White Hat Junior claims to have an annual revenue run rate of $150 million.
But as these online platforms were making their impression in the virtual world, the pandemic hit the world. Students were trapped inside their homes. They didn't have the option to go to school or interact with their parents. That's when these online platforms like Byju and Udemy hit their targets. Parents were focused to hand over mobile phones and tablets to their child's hand. The current situation has further represented the significance of internet learning in the present educational system. It has demonstrated to be an aid to both students and teachers, the same who can't go to class because of the danger or illness spreading. Not just the e-learning platforms, schools were also focused to start online classes and conduct tests through WhatsApp or Google Meet. Teachers and students started using mobile phones to communicate rather than a face-to-face conversation. Online education actually started redefining the role of educators worldwide.
With a sudden shift in classrooms worldwide, online education continued to become more and more persistent. However, with remote learning becoming a long-term game, experts fear that it might affect the mental and physical well-being of the children. Students are missing to be in person with their friends and classmates and having a spontaneous and real relationship with them and their teachers.
Not just that it has affected students below the poverty line, who used to rely more on government-run, the brick and mortar campuses. The parents of these students had hard time to help their children to get an appropriate education. However, the government and several other NGOs worldwide did try to back up such children so that they get the proper education. As for the teachers, they had to take up the virtual remote teaching role as the pandemic was trying to keep them away from the physical presence of the classrooms. Several digital tools are ensuring that knowledge is properly shared through online education. Thus, it is actually creating a learning experience for both teachers and students. People from all over the world can teach anyone and everyone. A teacher from India is now teaching students who are in US. This shows how vastly online education has helped people from everywhere. But classroom learning cannot solely be removed through this virtual model, even though this hybrid teaching model will stay forever. Physical classrooms are important to shape and nurture future generations.
Although online education is emerging as a business model, but at the end of everything, education is about motivation, time, and content. And there is enough content by global experts on the internet. The challenge is curation and mentoring. Apart from this, there are many challenges that lie behind, like who will assure uninterrupted broadband connectivity for people hours a day? Who will pay for their data? Is there adequate space and peace at home for the students to concentrate? What happens when the power goes out? How to train the kids at home to follow digital discipline? Unfortunately, teachers are trained to teach and not mentor. Education provided by the digital platforms requires flipped classrooms. The lectures that you listen to by your teachers in the classes requires you to pay attention at home. And all of this requires a new mindset and framework.